So Agile, wow, that word has been thrown around here like a football for the last couple days. It is the buzzword right now. I've heard it used correctly, and I've heard it used incorrectly, by the way, just as a point. So what I want to do today is talk a little bit about Agile and get in the weeds, if you will. Normally, I do almost like a 45-minute presentation on Agile itself. We don't have time to do that today, so it's going to be very high level, but happy to chat with anybody afterwards about this or set up a call or something like that. So what's going on? You know, we heard earlier today from KLM, we've heard from a couple others that clients need answers fast, and we're not delivering that. And that's frightening to some people in here because actually corporate people or brand people are doing their own research now. Scares the hell out of people here. I'm here to challenge you all today, maybe even piss you off a little. And it's more of a stimulation than anything else. So please take it lightly, and but I want you to think about what's happening in our industry and what we need to do. All right, this is how marketing sees itself. Innovative, moving fast, adapting to the global marketplace. This is how they see research. Slow. What do you mean I need to do research? That just added 6 weeks to this. I need to launch. Don't tell me about rigor. All right? At Amazon, they've all but done away with qualitative research because it takes too long, it's too expensive, and it's a hassle to coordinate. So they've devalued qualitative research. And that's happening in other organizations as well. So that's why this is the wake-up call. Agile and doing it correctly, it's not a methodology, okay? It is a strategy, it's a management type of exercise that you need to engage your clients in and talk about. Traditionally, we use the waterfall process. All the innovation comes up the front end. We do a concept test. We refine. We take weeks of meetings and workshops and everything to move on to the next stage. This can last, 3 years, 5 years, we heard earlier today, to launch a product. That's too long in this marketplace. Look what has changed since 2012, we just talked about in the last couple of years. So we don't need to be 98% sure, okay? That's the difference that we're operating in today. We could be 80%, 85% sure. Agile is about, they talk about MVP, right? It's the getting the product basically right and then improving on it as you learn more and you engage more with the stakeholders, with the people who are using it. It's not about perfection. It's getting out there. I mean, look at the apps that come out today. They're constantly being updated on a monthly basis. Same thing is happening with products. Rafa's going to talk about that. So, just really quick, you know, where did this come from? It came from a bunch of software hackers that were frustrated back in 2000, and they were developing products and then, you know, going away for 6 weeks, coming back, showing the product to somebody, and they went, this is not what I want. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. So they developed this iteration type of process. So you can apply this not only to the digital websites and apps and things like that, but you can apply this actually to consumer packaged goods and other product lines. Same principles. So, where are we today? Qualitative research. 15, 17 years ago, online research came out, surveys took off, online qual, yeah, we're doing more of it, but it's still a small piece of all the qualitative research that's being done out there. And why is that? Well, it's still very expensive to do. It still takes a lot of time. So our company, we actually did market research, believe it or not, and talked to 100 buyers of qualitative. The 3 pain points and why they didn't do qualitative was the cost, the hassle of coordinating it, and how long it took to get an answer. Same thing. So we looked at technology and applied an agile approach. The traditional way, and you all do this probably on a daily basis, is you get an RFP, you have to coordinate with the field person or a product person to set up interpreters or facilities and all this. All that process can now be automated using APIs. We're actually launching studies now in days, not weeks, by automating the recruiting process. And we're sticking to quality. Agile is not quick and dirty research. It still has quality involved in it. We still make sure that the people qualify. We still have all those checkpoints in place. We're just doing it at a faster, more aggressive. It's all about speed and velocity. It's doing it right. So now a researcher can connect with the consumer in days as opposed to weeks. 2 weeks ago, we did a project. We had 48 hours notice. We did 3 countries, 6 focus groups. Incidence was 5%. We recruited that and executed that for the client. They were able to move forward, saving them close to 9 weeks that they would have been in the field by going to an agency. Now, I've presented these ideas to agencies for 2 years. They didn't want to hear it. They're like, my client doesn't need that. Well, guess what? Clients need that. They are looking for this. It was said earlier, the young people coming into this industry are going to find new and different ways to get the answers they're looking for. And if we don't adopt, we will die. Not to scare you. So, our company, what we've developed is we do webcam interviews. We recruit people from panels across the globe. We're working in about 28 countries now. We define the target market. You look for the core users of what that product or that segment is going to be. You don't need the fringe people. You don't need 3 of these 18 to 29-year-olds. You know, 1 of these, 2 of these. You get the core group of people that are going to use your product, and you engage with them. We're doing it with video conferencing. So you don't have to travel. Talk about sustainability. We're offering that. It's speed. They do it in their home. They can show products to you. Take the laptop or the tablet to the pantry, show you what's in their pantry. And then we're taking videos and video clips and sharing that with stakeholders in the organization. Putting all this together, it's actually accelerating the process. And so we're reducing the time, traditional focus groups, to run 4 groups. You're probably looking at 45 days from when the RFP goes out to when you deliver the report. We're doing it in 4 days. We're also saving money because of the automation and eliminating a lot of the back and forth and human interaction. We're saving close to 60% for our clients on products. So this is what Agile is all about. It's thinking this way and having this conversation with your client, breaking barriers. As I said, most agencies haven't adopted to this. This is the opportunity now for you guys to go forth and start thinking about this when you go back to your agency or your boutique or you're a freelancer. You need to get into the product cycle that clients are looking for. I'm going to turn this over to Rafa, and he's going to talk a little bit about how a small company is doing that right now globally.
All right. I just take on this one. Right, so I'm Rafa. I'm an insight manager for Unilever, in charge of most of the global haircare brands that we have in Unilever. And one side part of my job is to develop and land consumer closeness program for the whole organization globally. So 2 years ago when I started, my boss came to me with a challenge, and the challenge was, Rafa, you need to develop a program to increase consumer closeness. You need to reduce the carbon footprint of Unilever. That's very easy for me. You need to save 90% out of your standard time of project, and you need to divide your budget by 2. That's what he asked me. So at this moment when I was like, okay, I'm going to leave this room and resign from Unilever, I stayed there had a bit of, a bit of like research and who can I work with and what kind of stuff can I do. I can tell you after a few months of research, the only thing you can do is agile working. That's what Jim is talking about. There's no other answers. Agile is a principle, it's going quick and fast with less money. answering questions when they come and answering questions in days instead of months. That's a principle that we applied in all the business. And then you have tools like Discuss.io that are just a tool that allows us to be agile. When you cross a tool and a principle, then you land a program that we call People Voice in Unilever, and we call it democratization of insight because it's for everyone. Everyone uses it in all our countries. We do research in more than 25 countries globally every day with Discuss.io. And from assistant brand manager to small people like Keith, which is our chief marketing officer. He's talking with I think he's talking soup with someone in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So everyone is using it, and it's the day-to-day stuff we're doing. As I'm in hair, I landed the program in hair in the beginning, so I'm going to talk a bit more about hair specifically and how did we use it. So we started working with Discuss.io in mid-2014, so that's 1.5 years ago. We have 60% of the hair team, and when I say hair team, I'm not saying marketing, I'm saying marketing, insight manager, technical manager, and R&D, because we discuss about any kind of topics. So that's 1,000 people, roughly, using this platform on a day-to-day basis. We have 8 hubs using it, and we have, I think last month we were counting 200 hours of connect with consumers. When you say a connect is around half an hour, I think on the last month I have like daily 2 or 3 people in my team doing connect with people all over the world. That's just to tell you the depth of or the frequency with which we use Discuss.io. So when I was building those slides, I was like, okay, so you need to tell those guys what kind of topics are you using the tool for. And so I took my standard innovation funnel in brand development, and I said, well, I do use it for exploring my targets when I have some new project coming. I do use it to improve my early ideas because I'm discussing that with consumer on a like 15 minutes connect. I do use the platform to crack some concept of pack, whatever it can be, product, anything. I do use it for finalizing my communication, doing my storyboards, selecting the last images I'm putting in my advertising. And that's only on a brand development stage, just to tell you how far you can use it. And then because I'm working on the global office and I'm not working in the countries, I reach my countries and I ask them if they use it as well. And they tell me, well, yes, because sometimes I'm in Berlin and I need to connect with someone in Hamburg because I don't know my regionalization. Is that correct? So this kind of topic. So basically my whole company is using it in hair and all across the categories to talk about anything. And I just want to, yeah, that's how we quantify our information in Unilever. I'm just doing a basic principle. I wanted to stop here because I say Agile is nice, but Agile is not about, okay, I want to talk with someone, although I like talking. It's not talking for the sake of talking. So if I have a few examples now where I got some problems on my development. I use Agile working, doing 6 interviews that fix my problem. That's not being Agile, that's just being performance, right? If I start being Agile on it, then because I'm anticipating my research and I'm doing it on an iterative approach, then I'm removing this stage here. I'm not getting any problem in the beginning because I'm doing interviews earlier in the process. So because I'm doing 6 interviews, I'm going to save 6 weeks. That 6 weeks is a standard we save all the time. And that's on any kind of research project you can do. If I go back to the waterfall Jim was showing in the beginning, and if I save 6 weeks here, 6 weeks there, and 6 weeks there, then I'm saving 18 weeks, and I'm saving 90% of my budget. I'm not saying that we switch all the research to Agile working, but a massive amount of the research is complemented or switched to Agile working. And that on a 3 years length project land me to a 18 to 20 months project, which is kind of amazing because we need to go faster and faster. I don't need to tell you how hair goes fast and need to innovate all the time because that's personal care category is even worse than the other one. And because we're on a qualitative forum, I was just like, let me ask my colleagues, some of them, so those are all my colleagues, a bit of qualitative feedback on the platform. There's a lot of things like, because they are happy to work with the platforms, they will tell you, I'm super happy because I'm going faster, I'm doing better job. The platform is amazing because I can show videos. It's all confidential. It makes me sharp and faster. There's just happy comments. And I think it can help, it will help. We need to do it more. And, well, it's just a matter of being consumer-centric anyway. I think we all agree on this.
Yep. So thank you, Rafa. So we're actually working with about 350 employees at Unilever, and again, it's researchers and non-researchers using the tool in various different ways. We've done close to 1,000 sessions, both IDIs and focus groups. So if you want to learn more about Agile, I would start with this book here by Eric Ries. If you have not read it, read it, because this is kind of the Bible. And he's written a couple other books, but it's a good start to understanding what the Agile process is and how you can apply it to market research. Just to give you some key points around this, again, it's about iteration. All right, so Agile is choosing the one or two research questions you need to ask. And you have to get the client away from, oh, while we got them there, let's ask them about this. All right, so you focus in. You're having 20 to 30-minute conversations with people. If they're a really good respondent, it might last 45 minutes. Focus groups, you want to do 3 or 4 people for about 60 minutes, maybe 70 minutes, but no longer. Keep them very short. Simple and frequent. Many companies work on 2-week sprints. We're working not only with Unilever, but with Clorox and a couple of other companies that I can't mention, but doing the same process. So they will do multiple waves. They'll do 6, 7 waves around communication testing or around website development or something like that. So very short prep times. So the weight is on you for delivering the results. So most moderators are turning around reports who are adopting to this process in about 48 hours, having a debrief, and then giving what I would call a summary report. And because of the ability with our tool to be able to make clips, it's saving them close to 30% of their time searching, because the way ours works, and there's a couple other tools out there to do the same thing, but the transcript is synchronized to the video. So you can keyword search and find exactly on that point rather than having to go back and play a whole video. And then you can make a video clip just by highlighting the text. Again, there's a few different tools out there that do that. So again, choose your target, but choose your core target. Don't get into really, trying to find 1 or 2 of each of a segment. And then engage directly with the consumer and with the stakeholders. You have everyone involved in designing what the upfront is going to look like and then what the output is.